Hey, folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. This video for Tuesday, April 3rd, 2012 is sponsored by RealTick. Well, we have some action going on in the markets here, folks. The Fed minutes just came out at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and the markets did sell off. We were already trading down beautifully on the day, but this was kind of the cap on the icing on the cake, if you will, as again the markets just collapsed down to the 200. Now you're holding the 200 moving average. You can see it in red here. That is the current support. We'll watch very closely to see if that level will break now, and that's what you're looking for. You can see you're getting a bounce off of it, actually a pretty nice bounce at that too, from a pierce of the 200 moving average. But one thing to note, folks, bottom line is this is something I went over with my traders, unbelievably important. If you zoom out on the charts, check this out. All right, here was your previous high. You broke the high by 50 cents. Then you pulled back. You came up to this exact high right here on the charts, broke it by 50 cents, hit this trend line, sold off. You came up yesterday, tagged the high, and then started to sell off. There's a pattern development here that you must pay attention to. Anytime you're breaking the highs here, you're breaking by 40 to 50 cents on the SPY, and then you're having a pretty solid sell-off. And sure enough, it's repeating. This is something I told my traders to watch yesterday, and sure enough, the profits are rolling in on the downside of this market. And again, it's just a beautiful thing to look at this trend line right here. Every time essentially you hit this line, you are seeing a nice solid sell-off. So far, we've sold off all the way from the highs of yesterday, which was at 142.25, to a low today of 140.50. And that's a pretty solid sell-off. Now, the question in my mind is, where are we going from here? We're at a 200 moving average support. Ultimately, I think we're going to go down and test this green line down here because that's the channel that we've been in. And again, if I zoom out a little bit more, you can clearly see, take this gap fill right here, connected to the low, connected to this low, you have a perfect trend line right there. The question is, do we get a bounce intraday until we get to that point? And I think that's what we're all kind of watching at this stage in the game. All right, so a lot going on here. The charts are working beautifully. If you want to come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com, there's a 7-day free trial. That's right, folks, 7-day free trial. Come join us here. Research Center is what you want to focus on if you're a swing trader. Intraday Stock Chat if you are a day trader. Both have 7-day free trials. You can take one, you can take the other, you can take both at the same time. Up to you. All right, but bottom line is we allow you to check us out and see what it's all about before you make the commitment here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. All right, bottom line is beautiful sell-off, and again, somewhat expected after we came up and kissed this trend line right here from yesterday. This is 2 Mondays in a row we've had rallies, although this is something else I want to point out to you, which I'm fascinated by. Last Monday, which is, let me just zoom into the chart. This was last Monday right here, so not yesterday, but the previous Monday to that, which was the 26th of March, we had this monster rally on Ben Bernanke QE3 policy. Everyone thought he was going to be coming out with QE3, therefore, obviously, the markets rallied up huge. Now, that rally lasted 1 full day. You gapped up the next day, went sideways, and then sold off at the end of the day. Yesterday's one-day rally, or yesterday's rally, didn't even last a full day. While it took 2 days for the late-day sell-off to occur last week, this week, it just went up 3/4 of the day and sold off late in the day, and now you're coming back in. So what you're seeing here is the market less able to hold its gains, which is important, very, very important, and to understand in terms of a slightly weakening chart as it continues to kind of grind sideways to higher. And that's what we've been doing over the last 2 to 3 weeks. We've kind of been grinding sideways in this 140-ish range on the SPY, making higher highs by 50 cents and then just selling right off and coming back in. And again, you can see again with the channel that I showed you, that's exactly what's going on there. All right, now again, we've gotten a little bit of a bounce here off the 200 moving average. As a scalp trader, that's exactly what you're looking for. And again, scalping is different than swing trading. Scalping is multi-second holding of the SPY or any stock out there. Now, the big question to me is, again, do we start to make a bear flag here and then break down later today, or do they save this market like we've seen them do day in, day out, and rally it back up? Now again, just to note here, folks, we had this pattern down here and a bearish pattern there that played out, and then we had another bear flag right here going into those Fed minutes, and then it sold off. Now, why did the market sell off on the Fed minutes? Well, essentially, there was almost no talk of QE3 in this meeting. So now everyone's basically saying, oh, wait a minute, so there's no QE3 coming down the pipeline. It's not a locked-in deal. And, I mean, it's kind of like a little on the crazy side if you think about it because, I mean, the market, that's why it rallied last Monday, and now you're selling off in reverse because it doesn't look as likely. And I mean, these markets are just on a yo-yo here. How they trust the Fed is beyond me, but bottom line, I'm just a trader. I'm here to trade the markets up and down and do whatever I got to do to make money on both sides of the market. All right, in terms of day trades for the day, a couple day trades which were beautiful. Let me take a look at one of them here. FSLR, I want to show you one of the day trades that worked out beautifully. All right, number one, you had a bottoming tail right here. You waited for the retrace right here. This was my alert entry, and you made a beautiful pop from approximately 23.45, which was the alert given, all the way up to 23.70. That was a beautiful scalp based on the bottoming tail. Then you took your money and ran, and again, it came down. Then you had a beautiful bear flag right into the 20. That's a short. Look at the fall there, 3-bar surge. And FSLR, I continue to have been a strong advocate that FSLR is going lower. My target right now is below $20 on this thing before it finally gets a major bounce. And that has been dead on. It's already at 22.75, so I mean, it's pretty close to that now anyways. All right, but again, look for underneath 20. That's where it's heading, in my opinion. All right, other trades out there. One of the big movers today is Heat, which is a Chinese small cap. Monster move here. Take a look at the daily chart. This thing closed yesterday at 274. It hit a high of $6 today. I mean, that is a 100% plus gain. And off of that, I put two and two together and said, okay, what are some other Chinese low floaters? One of them is CLNT. And CLNT, the chart is reflecting a reverse stock split. But bottom line is, such a thin stock here, such a beautiful Chinese stock trading like a 1 PE. It started to get a bid. It's already trading at 218. My guess is it continues up to $2.50 to $3 in the not too distant future. That's one I'm watching very closely. Once it starts to run and squeeze, it should have a monstrous gain. All right, so awesome little small cap trade there for you guys to check out. Another small cap that I've been highlighting to my members is Ivan. I gave out Ivan and bought it myself at $1. It hit $1.15 today, so that's working out beautifully. And again, bottom line, I have some shorts out there as well. Microsoft for me is short right now. Beautiful beginning of a breakdown. This is heading right for the 50 moving average, in my opinion, over the next day or so. And then ultimately, once it gets through that, then you get the bigger decline there. Google was a short that triggered last week for my members, and that triggered at a beautiful level of what price was that? $6.53 right up here, and sure enough, it's trading down $10 on the short side, so you're in the money $10 already on that trade. So again, there's plenty of stuff out there, folks. Again, you got to understand the rounded top we're making right now. What does that mean? I explain that to my members. They understand it fully. Bottom line is, the money is there to be made. You just have to be able to read the charts, know your discipline, which is very important in terms of the methodology here at themoneystocks.com. We will train you to be an ice-cold trader in terms of no emotion, which is the one thing that most traders cannot handle. Anyone that's a retail investor, amateur investor out there, emotion is why they're losing on trades. It's not because it's hard to learn the charts. It's easy to learn the charts. It's the emotional aspect that will get them every time. Alrighty. On that note, folks, again, there's some good action here on the spiders. I got to get back to trading myself. I want to make sure I can make some of this money here this afternoon as the spiders continue to trade down here, and we're holding the 200 moving average. Watch that CLNT, in my opinion. Yang is another one. YONG is that's making a move today. Some good small cap Chinese plays that are low floaters are going pretty big today. Take care, guys. And again, come join us here at InTheMoneyStocks.com. 7-day free trial. Enough said. Take care.